Hi, my name is Theresa Marcroft, and I would love to talk with you today a little bit about what makes small companies successful, what helps them to get themselves firmly on the path to revenue so that they can become a successful, sustainable, long-lasting, and profitable organization. I've spent a career leading small companies in Silicon Valley, leading their marketing departments and helping them to bring new products and services to market in ways that help the company to grow their revenues. I've worked with small and medium-sized companies mostly because they're so dynamic and their environments are so fast-paced. You have to always be keeping an eye on the competition and always keeping an eye on the customer. And if you do that, you notice things and it makes the company need to pivot quickly when they do notice changes, either in their customer base or in their competitive landscape. And so to me, that's what made it very exciting. And being able to wear many hats while doing all of that was an extremely interesting career. So I've led several companies to IPO status and a couple of them to acquisition, profitable acquisition, and then some of them just onto the path to revenue where they happily continue to do business in that way. And so what I'd like to do is go through a few of the lessons that I've learned over the course of my career in terms of what helps to make small companies successful. So, but first, one small fact, you may have heard at some point that approximately 9 out of 10 companies don't make it. So if there's a 90% failure rate, it seems to me that a couple of lessons learned, if it can help some companies to overcome that tremendous failure rate and have a greater chance of success, that's kind of the point of this video. So basically, I'm going to go through a couple of the lessons that I've learned from my career in Silicon Valley. And if you think about maybe half a dozen of the top lessons or so, the theme that they have running through them is the fact that the successful companies have developed a customer-centric mindset, and they've figured out ways to fold that customer-centric focus into their organization from many different vantage points, from many different perspectives. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One is in terms of the customer mindset. So understanding the customer mindset, if you do, it can actually influence so many things about product development as well as product delivery, product pricing, messaging. It has many ramifications. So what I mean by understanding the customer mindset is that, let's say that you were selling something like smartphones or even cars. You and I both know people who go out and buy the latest and greatest and have to have the one that just came on the market because that's what gets them excited. So if they're buying the latest and greatest, that's one kind of buyer. But we also know that person who still today has an iPhone 6 or makes sure that their cars all last a decade and they'll drive it into the ground because it's paid off and that's the way that they do things. Neither of those approaches, either the latest shiny object or making your product last until it dies, basically, neither good nor bad. But those are two very different mindsets in your customer. So that's what you want to understand. And if you understand that you're selling to an early adopter who buys the latest and greatest, or a late adopter, late majority person who makes things last, that's going to impact your messaging. It's going to impact the way that you talk about the product benefits that you're delivering. It's going to impact the way that you price it and the way that you distribute it. So understanding the customer mindset, I would say, is one of many keys to being customer centric and folding a customer centric perspective into your organization. Another one of those is differentiation. So understanding how to differentiate your product compared to the other products that are on the market, compared to your competition, has to be done in a customer-centric manner because it needs to be a differentiation that's meaningful to your customer. It's going to make sense to your customer and it's going to compel your customer to buy your product over someone else's. So differentiation, kind of by definition, needs to be done with a customer-centric approach in mind. And so I actually have just finished a book. It's called The Path to Revenue: Secrets of Successful Technology Leaders. And this book goes through 8 different strategies for building a customer-centric focus into your organization. And then in addition to that, there are 3 different bonus ideas, and one specifically that corporate boards can do to help ensure that companies become successful. I do hope that you'll enjoy the book. The reason I wrote it is to share some of this information, and if it makes that failure rate a little bit smaller, or it helps more companies to become successful on the path to revenue, then it's all good, and that's what I've been hoping for. So again, I'm Theresa Marcroft. My company is called Market Savvy, and I hope you enjoy the book. Thank you so much.